Konnichiwa, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about control. Eigo desu. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. This is the 8th year of the Sales Japan Series podcast, broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku here in downtown Tokyo. It is chic central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Presen no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Tonin de Okane o Moni Suru wa Yamemashou, and my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive, and even better, thrive in business. I want you to 1, sell more and do it more easily. 2, exceed your target. In fact, let's blow up your targets. Number 3, make some serious money. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We're not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series. And every second Tuesday, the Business Tachijin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 386. Today we're talking about controlling our hour for the sales meeting in Japan. Usually in Japan, we're granted an audience with a buyer for an hour for the meeting. Sometimes with Western buyers, they want to restrict the time, so we only have 30 minutes, which makes things very difficult. We also know that if we can capture their interest, that 30 minutes can magically become much longer. We also know that there will be more than one meeting, so we don't have to try to squeeze everything into that initial conversation. One point though, in the case of a second meeting, always have your diary there and set it while you are there with them in the same room. Don't leave it, or we will get crushed in the competition for their time by other competing forces. That first hour should be concentrated on building rapport and trust with the buyer at the very start. We need to establish our credentials and our trustworthiness. In most cases, they don't know us at all. We turn up expecting them to share their deepest, darkest corporate secrets with a stranger. Remember your parents told you, don't talk to strangers. This first meeting requires good communication skills centered around our choice of the content and the way we express it. Stumbling, bumbling speech patterns are automatically assumed to show we're an incoherent idiot, unprofessional, unreliable, and best stayed away from. Japanese buyers are trained to hear our pitch and then completely destroy it as a defense mechanism against making a bad decision. We don't want that. Instead, we need to get their permission to ask questions during that first meeting so that we can avoid pitching into the void. If we don't know what they need, how on earth do we know what to pitch? If they want A and we keep talking about B, we will not get the business. We have to know they are interested in A and not B. To find out what they want, we use a simple 4-part structure. 1, we explain who we are. 2, what we do. 3, who we've done it for and what happened. And 4, suggest we could possibly do it for them too. I say possibly because we still don't have enough information to know for sure. We are better to say we don't know if we're a match and make the point that If I can ask some questions, I will have a better idea if we can help or not. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, and we also have custom in-house programs as well as both in Japanese and English. We do classes in our super safe classroom and we do them live online. Our show today is being brought to you by, on the 5th of June, our Dale Carnegie course, that's a 12-week version. On the 6th of June, we're doing our leadership training for managers program, the 3-day version. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, every Monday Tokyo time. Fridays we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs right up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now every second Thursday we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget to grab my business best-selling books on Japan on Amazon. Japan Sales Mastery, which is Saegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Presen no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muda ni suru no wa yamemashou, and my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. The temptation in Western sales techniques is to start enthusing about what a great help we can be and how we can do everything regardless of what they need. We're an omnidirectional wunderkind, and we can magically solve all of their corporate ills because we are so awesome. This won't work in Japan because it comes across as boasting, sounds like a lot of salesperson hot air, and we should be avoided. Once we get permission to ask questions, we can start with either where they are now or where they want to be. It doesn't matter where we start, but we need to know the answer to both. We need this so we can gauge the distance between the 2 points. A client who's really close to solving their problem internally believes they don't need us because they can do it themselves. We need to disabuse them of that idea if we can. Sometimes we can't do that. In that event, we have to pack up our stuff and get out of there and find someone we can help. Once we know where they want to be, we need to find out what is preventing them from getting there. Hopefully, the reason we uncover will help us to position ourselves as a solution they cannot generate internally. The issue with knowing the blocker is that it is not enough. Most deals never happen because the buyer doesn't have enough urgency attached to benefiting from the solution. If we just respond by saying we have the solution, that won't be enough. We need to explore the timing and the importance of speed. If we don't do that, we'll be left in limbo, waiting for the buyer to get around to taking action. This is where pointing out the opportunity cost of no action is important, because clients assume no action has no cost. We can't leave them thinking like that. We need to dig deep with the questions and understand the requirements, motivation, fears, and concerns in that first meeting. In the next meeting, we explain how our solution will take care of what they want. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty details of the solution and walk them through how it will unveil inside their company. Just talking about the mechanics is not enough because we need to connect the details of the solution to the benefits they will enjoy. That is also not enough because we need to describe what that benefit will look like inside their organization. Buyers are skeptical of salespeople, so we need to lay out the proof of where our solution has worked elsewhere, and preferably for a client very similar to them. Finally, we ask them a question which is very mild but deadly by saying, "How does that sound so far?" At this point, we don't add or explain or dilute the tension we've created with that question. We just sit there with our mouth shut and listen for the answer. If they have an objection to our solution, we don't jump in and defend it. we just ask sweetly, why do you say that? Again, we shut up and hear them justify their statement. Once we have enough information from their answer, we will know how to deal with the pushback. Maybe we can overcome that objection, or maybe we cannot. But this is the process which works best. If we can answer it, we ask again, how does that sound? And we wait to see if we have a deal or not. All of this closing in Japan is very soft and low-key. Hard sell is impossible here, so don't even bother going there. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, then please work on your karma and share this with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned, go out there and survive, use it, and make some serious money. Bucks, dough, ruler, coin, dosh, lolly, readies, smackers, earners, and bread and honey. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.